What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Feud. Mason is in the camera right now because we're talking about them Rams. They are playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week, and what I think is the best playoff matchup of the week. But we have more to talk about that throughout this video, so stick around for us to hear what Mason and Paul's ideas on the game are, as well as my own. But before we get into that, like the video, it's a banger. Comment down below who's going to win this game, and subscribe to the channel. There's a little button down there. Smack that subscribe button, man. It just helps us out. You know, you're gonna get good content in your feed every single day. It's a win-win for both of us. So just go do it. But
just subscribe.
We were talking about this a little bit beforehand. Paul said he has something to say before we get into things, and I'm just gonna give it right over to him.
Say what you got to say.
Yeah, so I want to give a quick little update on a video that we put out yesterday. Fred Warner is good to go, and Nick Bosa is also on track to play. I know that was a topic that we spoke about because if that defense isn't at full strength, then it's definitely going to be a problem. But we'll get into the real issues at hand today, and that is Los Angeles Rams against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Start things off. Oh, it's an issue. Tom Brady has won 9 straight divisional games. Also, Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, at the age of 44, he's older than 4 of the 7 remaining coaches in the playoffs right now. He's older than all 3 NFC coaches. Listen, he has a playoff record of 20-6 when facing a head coach that's younger than him. But that's also going against the Los Angeles Rams at the moment because Sean McVay's like 12 years old. Again, those are just 2 things that are in favor of Tom Brady heading into this matchup. That's all I have to start it off. We'll go into some of the actual details about the game.
Mason's all angered and fumed up now, so he can go ahead and give his two cents.
No, in all honesty, no matter how much crap I talk, Tom Brady is a veteran. Like Paul said, basically he's going in there top dog. He's got more playoff wins than anybody right now in the playoffs, more passing yards, more touchdowns. When it comes to the playoffs, this is another day in the office for Tom Brady, and he knows how to prepare. Speaking of preparation, they're going to prepare to pass on the Rams because the Rams secondary is dismantled. There's not a lot of cohesion going on right there. But, I mean, we've got Eric Weddle. Is that going to be good? I have no clue. The Rams throughout the year, they're like the 29th worst defense against the pass. We have played a very, very soft defense. Tom Brady is going to take advantage of that. I know that 100%. But we're going to come ready to go. I do know that Tristan Wirfs is out. Well, I'm not sure. I assume he's out.
He should be.
Because after watching last week, what's up, Paul? Do you have any update on
that? No, I was just going to, once you got done with that, I was going to actually give a list of injuries, updates. Okay. And he was considered questionable. Bruce Arians said, even though he's been in a walking boot, with that high ankle sprain, that he is 100% in the running for possibly playing this week. And I think that would be out of necessity and basically trying to, I guess, go over him being fully healthy, because if you don't have him, it's going to be a very tough day for Tom Brady.
It will. The Bucs have one of the number 1 rated offensive lines this year, ranked by Pro Football Focus. And, that's tough. But the Rams' defensive line is a little tougher. And if Tampa Bay doesn't have Tristan Wirfs, we saw last week their backup got diminished by the Eagles' defensive line. Tom Brady was getting sacked. Tom Brady's been the least sacked quarterback all year. That's because his offensive line's been so good. They're going to have some troubles playing against that Rams defense. We possibly have Ernest Jones coming back. That's going to be huge because if Ernest Jones can guard Gronk, he's not been the great. He's let up decent yards, but it's all been underneath. Ernest Jones is the best pass coverage linebacker we have, and we are absolutely going to need that against Gronk. We have Jalen Ramsey going up against Mike Evans. Okay, this is in their 2 meetings over the last 2 years, Jalen Ramsey has had him on lockdown. I'm not scared about that matchup. I think in 2 meetings, Mike Evans eclipsed like 55 yards. All right. Now, that's probably because they were able to dish around to the other guys. So I assume Mike Evans is going to be targeted more this game. There's other guys that are going to be able to help out Tom Brady, but I do believe we will be able to shut that aspect down. Tom Brady is going to have to do the most this week to take his team past this divisional round. What's up?
Mason was talking about the soft coverage that the Rams like to run. We do know they run that, obviously, but against the Cardinals, they didn't come out and do that. And they looked pretty good against them when they didn't do that. So I think their key is to not give anything underneath, because if you give underneath, you're just giving Gronk all that room to run. And if you give Gronk the ball, that's the one person you can't afford to let go off against you in this game if you're the Rams. If Gronk goes off, then it's going to open other stuff up. It's going to open up the run game a little bit, and it's going to open up other receivers that like maybe run in the slot and stuff. So if they can shut down Gronk effectively, I think they have a good chance at possibly limiting this Buccaneers offense to a lower scoring game.
Dude, we're going to send the house. Von Miller he's just peaking. I think he's peaking. He's getting better each game, settling in on that defense. I mean, Aaron Donald, we all know who Aaron Donald is. We know this defense is coming ready to play. We are going to get the most out of this pass rush. I'm excited to see what Leonard Floyd's going to do. This is going to be an awesome game for a Rams fan. I believe so. Now, we can go look at, Paul, do you have anything to touch on that Buccaneers offense?
I do, quite a bit, actually.
Let's hear it.
And this is all just injury report based. So I'll make it short and sweet with the Rams. Taylor Rapp is on the questionable. Troy Reader is also questionable. And then I think one of the biggest ones is actually Andrew Whitworth. He's questionable as well with a knee. I think they're all in line to play. But when you get to Tampa Bay, it's a completely different story. Tristan Wirfs, we've already talked about him. The starting right tackle is questionable. Their starting center, Ryan Jensen, is questionable. Another offensive tackle, Josh Wells, he's questionable. I'm not sure if he's a starter or the left tackle.
He was the guy that came in and replaced.
He was the one that came.
Wirfs,
he was the backup.
believe. Yeah.
Okay, so that's terrible. If they're both potentially the
he wasn't very
right
good,
tackle,
so they're going to need to find somebody else.
So then Ronald Jones, running back, he has an ankle issue. Gio Bernard, he was limited in practice with the potential to play. Rojo did not participate in practice. Gio Bernard, he has a knee and a hip injury designation. Cyril Grayson, he has a hamstring. He was seen in practice, warm-ups with his helmet, but not in any contact practice or anything like that. Rashad Perriman, he's also questionable with a hip injury. Levante David, questionable with a foot injury. And then Sean Murphy Bunting, who did miss time this year, he is questionable with a hamstring. So there's so many different, I guess, possibilities of what this team can look like, from your starting defense to your starting offense. And like you said, I think the biggest thing for this team is going to be if they can get Gronk going. But if the Rams can shut him down, obviously you have one of the best cover corners in the league, Jalen Ramsey. He'll be able to shadow Mike Evans all day. I don't think Tom Brady's going to have a lot of options. It's like I already spoke. He's missing two of his running backs with the potential to play. That's going to make them lean on Keyshawn Vaughn as a second-year player. But we've already seen once, obviously, the whole Antonio Brown scandal. That's just he missed half the season anyways. But once they lost Chris Godwin for the year to that ACL and then Leonard Fournette again to injury, we've seen that they've struggled. Obviously, they handled Philadelphia pretty well last week, but they struggled towards the end of the season. You're seeing these games where it's not the typical Tom Brady throwing for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns and them just blowing people out. They have to rely on this defense to step up. They have to make sure that they can, I guess, force some turnovers from Matt Stafford. And I think that's really going to be the key to this game. If they can get those turnovers and make Stafford play kind of not perfect, that I think will limit the playing field, or I guess not limit, but that will even the playing field is what I'm trying to say. So therefore, it can withstand all these potential injuries.
This is one of those games where it's going to come down to how many interceptions Stafford throws. I think if he stays under 3, I think the Rams are going to take this. But if he gets 3 interceptions, I think Tampa Bay is going to win this game. It's going to be one of those games. It's a defensive battle in this game, in my opinion. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I was going to transition this into our predictions, but Mason, if you have one more thing to say, go ahead and say it before I get there.
I do. Talking about Matt Stafford, when he's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense have the highest percentage for blitzes this year. They're number 1, 2021. Matt Stafford plays the best against the blitz. He has the highest passer rating in the league against the blitz. So they're going to be kind of, if they blitz Matt Stafford, they're saying, come on, we want that. So they're going to kind of change the pace of their own defense, I bet, to stop Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford played extremely well last week, and I think we're going to keep seeing that. Now, the Cardinals defense probably isn't as good as the Bucs, but that being said, I think the Rams, Sean McVay has this team coached to peak right now. Our defense is going to come at you hard. Our offense is going to come at you hard. Not to mention, we've got Cam Akers, our secret weapon right now. He's so explosive. He's ready to go. I think he's going to torch them. I don't think he's going to get 150 yards rushing on the ground or anything, but I think he's going to get those crucial first downs. I think he's going to get big plays when they count. We got Cooper Kupp, OBJ, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, Cam Akers, Sony Michel, so many offensive weapons. We are almost full strength right now besides our defense. And I think that is going to weigh in a lot in this potential to win this game against the Bucs. I'm excited for it. Let's go.
So all you viewers know, when Mason says we, he's talking about the Los Angeles Rams because he is a member of the organization, obviously, as number 1 fan.
I am.
But I do want to get into our predictions now since we are at the end of the video here, and I want to go with mine first. As I said, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think that both defenses are going to come out and they're just going to go crazy in this game. I think there's going to be turnovers on both ends. I think there's going to be a lot of 3-and-outs. I'm going to say the score is like 21-17, and I am giving the edge to the Rams right now.
And I kind of want to speak to something that we talked about in a previous video. It would have been the Cincinnati video that we released the other day. Stone had made the proclamation that he thinks it could be one of those games that ends on a final possession, who has the ball last. And I think that's a very good way to, highlight this game. I think that's the way it's going to end up. I can honestly see this becoming almost a shootout, actually. I think it's going to be more so about 31-27. Possibly even more, because I'm predicting that Tom Brady and Matt Stafford are going to duel. I both think they're going to have 300 yards as well as 3 touchdowns, but the turnovers is where the difference is going to lie. So I'm actually going to say 31-27 Tampa Bay.
All right. I'm going to give my prediction. The Rams are going to come out fast. They're going to come out and smack Tom Brady in the mouth. They're going to get up fast. The Rams are going to win 28-14. They are going to beat up on Tom Brady. That is my prediction.
Just know, everybody, that we have the middle guy over here as the bias pick, and then the other 2 as the 2 guys that are outsiders that are just picking who we think are actually going to win. So really, it just mattered what me and Paul said. Mason's just the Rams fan, so what more can you expect than him to pick his own team? I'm just kidding, Mason. If I was in that situation too, I'd be picking my team to win, obviously. But that's all we got today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, like it, comment down below who you actually think is going to win, and subscribe to the channel. If you're still here, you enjoyed the video, why not hit the subscribe button, help us out, and then it benefits you guys too. Like we said earlier, you get to see good content, good breakdowns of stuff that's going to help you guys understand what's going to happen in these games. So, it would be much appreciated if you hit that subscribe button. But I'm going to give things over to Mason as we usually do, and he's going to break us out of here.
Fantasy Few out, baby. Let's go.